Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. This is going to be leg 3 of our Balkans Bush trip. If you remember in the last one, we did this leg here, the second leg, which took us from Otochak, which is the field, to Zemunik. This was Zemunik. We didn't land on this runway. We actually landed on that one, just the smaller one. And then in this one, we're going to be taking off out of Zemunik, and we're going to heading to Kastela, which looks like, it's got a nice tower there, look at that. Looks like it's going to be on a coast next to a town. This looks absolutely fabulous place to land. I can't wait to land here. So we're going from Zemunik to Kastela. We're jumping the aircraft. I'm going to refuel and repair this time, as I said, and then we'll get going. Okay, here we are, back in the cockpit. It seems to have put us exactly where we stopped on the previous trip, which is interesting. So what I've done is I've refueled, as you can see here. The fuel quantity is now full. The way I did that was, if you go into your keyboard mappings, there's a key mapping for refuel and repair. Just map a key to, I did Control-Shift-F, I think it was. And yeah, when you press that, it just refuels and repairs the whole thing, which seems to be the only way to do it when you're on the bush trip. Right, so we will just expand this and have a quick look around. So we're going to do a route. It's 55 nautical, 26 minutes. Looks like most of this is going to be down the coast. This should be really, really nice. It says, depart from Zadar Airport heading southeast, and quickly you will notice a road running in the same direction. So southeast is this way. So we're going to take off and do a left turn. And then this, I think, this here is the major motorway that came from the bridge. Is that right? Or was that one that came from the bridge? Yeah. No, there's the road. There's the bridge. Yeah, the grey line. So the grey line is the road. Alright, so that's the motorway there. So we need to take off and find that. Quickly notice the road running in the same direction. Follow it. Eventually we pass over a highway interchange, reuniting with the A1 motorway near the town of Benkjevak. Reuniting with the town, the motorway. Is this the motorway then? I don't know. This VFR map's awfully confusing. It would be great if you could add like different layers. I know you can add the ISO line, but it would be great if you could add like different layers to this, like towns and things. Continue southeast on the road for a while, watching the waters, the Gaduka River, sluicing through. Okay, alright, we can do all that. So we'll take off. No need to start the timer and the climb this time, like the last one. Let's bring that back. To get the parking brake off. All the flaps set to clean. Good. I've set up the heading bug, which is the heading of 111. So we'll do a climbing left turn, and then we'll start the timer. I've set the altitude to 2,300. We're about 300 feet MSL, so I'm gonna fly at about 2,000 feet above the ground. I think that should be fine for us. 60 knots. Good stuff. Right, so we'll start our left turn around about now. Actually, you know what we want? What we'll do is we'll do a climbing right turn, and we'll overfly the airfield and pick up that profile. That's what we'll do. Then we'll start the timer. I think that'll work out a bit better. Try and get about 80 knots is what we're looking for, really. Yes, we know. You told us last time as well, dude. Yeah, so by the time we get back to the airfield, I think we'll more or less be on that magenta line. I think as we're progressing through this trip, I think the sun is actually coming up in the sky, which is awesome. I like that. It's like keeping the time progression going. Okay, I'm going to engage the autopilot now. It's going to keep the climb going to 2,300. And it's going to pick up, there you go, you see? Beautiful. Beautiful. bang on profile. I've set the wind up so the wind's coming in from the right, so that we need to adjust our heading slightly here, just to stop any getting blown from right to left. We will now start the timer, and we're looking for a 5 minutes 19 timer. The road that it wants is, I think, about here-ish. Get rid of that. There's no need for it anyway, I don't think. Yeah, I think that's the road there that we're looking for. Apart from Zadar, head southeast quickly. You'll notice the road running in the same direction. Follow it, eventually we'll pass over the highway interchange. Right, so we're looking for the road. That's what we're looking for. The big one there, I think, is that it? Don't think so. No, it's going to take a couple of minutes to catch it up, I think. Let's have a look. I think I got my drone camera working this time, so I'll look at the scenery properly. There you go. That's better. Now we can see what's going on. Beautiful. Turn the heading ever so slightly to the left as we approach our cruise altitude. I am assuming this is the road that we're trying to pick up. Well, we do need to look out for this highway interchange that it's talking about. I'm just going to back off on the throttle a little bit. Yeah, right, so it's going to get tricky to see things out of this left window, because that sun's going to be causing issues. And you see how, like, on the glass here, you see how it's got this horrible effect? This is something that happens in real life. Like, the older the plane, like, the more kind of grime and dirt you get on the glass, and the more scratched it is. And whenever you've got sun coming in, it just scatters the light and it makes it very, very hard to see. It's a very real problem. Right, we've got cruise power set. Timer is on halfway. Next heading will be 132, so a slight track to the right. But we kind of need to find this, go and meet this road, I think. We're halfway there. The next point will be when we meet the road. 132 is more or less going to follow the road, I think. Continue southeast along the road. After a while, watch for the waters of the Gaduka River sluicing under the road and running southwest. So this is the road here. The water's going to come from the top right and go underneath it this way. Presumably going here towards a lake in the distance, the Proklansko Jezero, whatever that means. Oh, look at that, the sunlight's just catching these buildings. That's great. This is the road here, convinced of it. That right there. Fairly big field, I'm not going to lie. Of course, if I had an engine failure, that would be a perfect place to land. Now, I can't work out if this is ice on the ground or salt. This here kind of looks white, you see that? I'm beginning to think it might be a bit of ice. No, it can't be. It says OAT is 10 Celsius. No, there's no way that's ice. It must be like salt or something. Is that an interchange? Looks like a very sunken one. Or maybe that's an interchange. Who knows? What's the timer on? 4:49. I think this is where we need to be, and then we're going to go off on a 132 track. So I think, so that's the Med. It's the Mediterranean Sea down there, which means if you keep going that way, you get to Italy. Because we're basically at the top, aren't we? Like the top end of Italy's over there, and the leg kind of goes that way. If I've got my geography right, that is. Okay, let's check the time. 5:19. Okay, beautiful. So new heading of 132. Let's collapse that. And we'll go 1, 3, so 3, 3, 1, 3, 2. Okay, we'll make it 135 because we've got a 7 knot wind coming in from the right. Waiting for the GPS to update. Start new timer. This is a 7-minute 47 run. It's quite a long leg, this one. That is most definitely the interchange it was talking about. Okay, so looking at this, we need to be a bit more left. It wants us over the road, basically. It wants us quite literally flying over the road. You see, that's not something I would ever do if I was doing VFR flying. I would never fly over the road. You can't see it. I'd always fly just to the right of it, so we can look out the window and see it. Much easier. After a while, watch out for the waters of the river sluicing under the road. Okay, so we need to look out for that. In theory, we should see something on the GPS here. That's a lake there. So I'm guessing we're going to see something going this way, to this lake. Because I think that must be the Prokyansko Jezero Lake. Which must be that, I think. I'm guessing, of course. Right, let's get back onto a heading of 135. Let's make it 134. There we go. Great stuff. It's very flat around here, isn't it? You've got these like ridges of mountains, and then it goes really flat all the way to the sea. Let's have a look at that point view. That's great, isn't it? Look at that view. That's fantastic. I am curious as to why there's absolutely no traffic on the others one. Every time I say that, it looks like there's no traffic, and then when you look at it, you notice it. It's so weird. Getting on. Navlog. Okay, so you just need to turn right a couple of degrees just to keep us on profile. I think it's southeast. We're running 3 minutes, got another 4. I've not really seen this sluicing it's talking about. Unless I've missed it somehow. It feels warmer already, like that sun coming up, just lighting the ground, makes the whole place just feel that little bit warmer. It's felt very cold so far, like when we set out, it was early morning and it just felt really dark and cold, but now the light's coming in. There's a big lake or something ahead of us. In fact, looking at this kind of river here goes all the way there. You can see it on the GPS. What happens after this then? Oh yeah, towards a lake in the distance. Right, so this is the must be on about this one. Well, that doesn't really look like a lake to me. That's kind of connected to the sea. Well, that's a lake in the distance, but it must be. That must be the Jezero. So when we reach that, at the banks of the Jansko Jezero, make your way down its western shoreline over the village of Raslina. So that'd be on heading of 159, which is again to the right. So more that way. Make your way down its western shoreline over the village. You'll soon find the inlet for another river, the Krakar, running southwest. Follow it a short distance to a marina at the historic city of Šibenik. God, I'm butchering these names. I do apologize. Šibenik? I don't know. The oldest native Croatian town on the shores of the sea. Wow. I like this. I like the way they give you history as well. Give you places to fly, and then they give you towns to and information and history. That's awesome. Right, well, we're on profile. I'm going to head a couple of degrees to the left again. And that's got to be the lake, and the timing is 7 minutes 47, which means we've got another 2 minutes, which will put us more or less here. And then it says at the banks of the river, make your way down its western shoreline, which is this. So we want to hit this bit and then fly along that bit, I think. That's what it's trying to get us to do. This is a good altitude, actually. I mean, we could go higher and make things a little bit easier to navigate, but at this altitude, you can look out the window and see what's going on. Turn a couple of degrees, keep us bang on profile. There is a town there, I think. I think that's the one it referred to. Over the village of Raslina, yeah. That's Raslina. I love this sign. Do not touch screens. These Garmins aren't touchscreen, but people might try pressing them, you know. I've noticed as well that the sky is kind of clearing up a bit as we're going through the day. It's definitely a fixed weather system they've got for these bush pilot things. So when we get to here, we're going to fly along the western edge there and keep our track going that way. There is another river that I think is the one it was talking about, that one there. You soon find an inlet for another river, so that's that one. Follow it a short distance to a marina at the historic city of Šibenik, which could be that. That could be that there. That's where the inlet is. Either that or it's actually there where the inlet is. I'm not sure. Right, we're coming up on profile for time, but I'm just going to wait until we get to this part of the river, because we're not quite there yet, and then we'll turn on track. So we'll get rid of that now, reset the timer, then we're going to turn on track 159 for 3 minutes. So we'll just use our instruments for this, I think. Once we get to about here with the plane, we'll turn 159. Okay, let's do that. 152, 59er, and then a couple of degrees just to compensate for the wind, and reset the time. 3 minutes. This time, we're looking to fly, this is the Raslina, You see, find an inlet for another river. Follow it short distance to a marina in the historic city of Zemunik. Which maybe, I can see a town down there now. And then the next heading will be 151, so it's a very minor correction. If you look at it. Let's just come left a little bit. Let's have a look from this point of view. Now there's a town here, just by the river. But I'm thinking the oldest native Croatian town on the shores of the sea, it's got to be that there, hasn't it? That's the one that's right on the sea. But it says follow it to the marina. So I'm getting, I don't know, I keep changing my mind. I think it might be this one. Is what I'm thinking. It might be this. This is an inlet. This has got to be a marina here. And this has got to be the town. This is the only one on track for 3 minutes. So yeah, I think this is the oldest Croatian town right here. You can see why you'd want to set up a town here, you know? Hundreds or thousands of years ago. You can see why you'd want to set up a town here, because you've basically got access to the sea, but you're shielded from the sea. You've got this lovely waterway, mountains behind, like fertile land. You've got everything. You've got everything you need. Getting close to our turn point of 151. But we are a little bit off profile again. It's more or less going to be a straight drive through this one. Okay, we'll collapse that. And at 3 minutes we need to head southeast, following the heading toward the Adriatic Sea and a bay near the famous Bedem Grabastica, the site of the Wall of Ostraca built in 1497. Wow. That's some history right there. Okay, 151 on the heading. Start the timer. We've got to have a look at this. We've got to have a look at this. Yep, that's the marina. That is most definitely the oldest Croatian town. Look at that. That is fab. It's beautiful around here. It really is. Right, 2 minutes 42 on this one. So is this the bay? This must be the bay. Towards the Adriatic Sea, a bay near the most famous Bedem Grabastica. Do you think we'll be able to see the wall? I don't know. Now we do need to be careful here. Let's just turn right a second. We do need to be careful here because the next heading is 106, which is quite a big turn. 106 is going to take us back that way where all the hills are. Let me just see what this says here. It says the road runs straight through the bay, heading east past the tourist village of Grabastica, follow it through the valley towards the hills. On the northern hill bank you should soon see the small village of Blizna Gorna surrounded by trees. It sounds like we're going to follow through this valley here, but I'm worried about elevation. It doesn't mention climbing though. That's a valley, okay. And so is that. The famous Grabastika. It's gotta be this. I am concerned if we don't make this turn at the right point, this is all going to go horribly wrong. Okay, 106 on the heading. Time is up. Reset that. .06, this doesn't feel right at all. That's not even 106, and it kind of feels like we're flying into a lot of hills. I mean, that's 106. But yeah, I thought so. We're right of profile. Let me get over here. We're supposed to be following this valley. I turned at the time when it said, but my hunch was telling me we should be following this valley line. So we'll start the timer again. Got enough altitude for this. Just gonna add another few hundred feet on top. That's 106 bang on, but with a 7 knot crosswind, we're looking at 110, something like that. Yeah, I feel a bit safer climbing a bit because, like, these hills you can see from the map here. Follow through the valley towards the hills. On the northern hill bank, you should soon see the small village of Grisna Gjona surrounded by trees. Okay. See something here? Don't know if that's it. Ooh. It's always fun when you fly past wind turbines in real life. I don't know why. It feels kind of cool. Okay, well the heading's good. We're bang on profile. Coming up on 3,000 feet, which looks plenty for what we're trying to do. I'm just going to back off on the throttle slightly, leave the mixture a touch. And we've got to go cruise speed again. Good. Now we're looking for this little town surrounded by trees. There's something here that could be it, or possibly something further along. And after this, the heading will be slightly to the right at 115. It's a very small course correction. So once we find this town, we're going to be turning right. From the tree line Gjorna, look for a road running southeast, parallel to the hillside. I can see a road there on the map, but let me have a look at the unless this is it. I think this might be it, you know. It's not showing up on this one, but there is definitely a road going through here. Wait, that's it, maybe. Is that it? Yeah, because yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Because we're here on the map. With so that must be the road. Can't be the coastal one, I don't think. Okay, we're coming up on time. What's outside? There's the town. All right, so reset the clock. Heading of 115. We're at 118 to allow for the wind. Start the clock. Collapse that. Look for a road running southeast. So a road that's running southeast is gonna run in that direction. Like that way. After a short distance, this road will reach a junction point and hand you off to another state road, the D58, running south, which is even more to the right. Presumably it's going to be over the top of this hill. Oh, there's a road here though. That one's running approximately south or southeast. Could be that. So when we find that, we're on a heading of 106 and we're going straight for the airfield. Which is to our left, which is over there somewhere. I reckon it's got to be this. That road is most definitely heading south. For short distance, the road will reach a junction point and hand you to another state road, the D58. I mean, I think if that's the airfield there, we're not far away. Okay, so it basically wants us to take a heading of 106 now, which just feels wrong to me. Like, if you're landing at this airfield, you want to be going over here. Unless it wants us to come in the other way. Alright, we'll go off what it says. So, Lucas Split, which is this one. Which is right here. Cunningly seems to have disappeared from my sat-nav, which is interesting. It's literally gone from my sat-nav. Anyway, that's where we're landing. So what I might do is just turn off the autopilot and we shall start descending manually, I think. Because the waypoints are going to take us directly there, but that's not going to give us an approach. Not at all. Let's get rid of that, so we'll get rid of that. Yep, that is definitely the airfield. From the picture, and I said to you it's by the sea, it looks fantastic. That's definitely it. Oh, there you go, it's back on. Interesting little approach, this. Glorious coastline. Right, let's see if we can get the speed back now. Get first stage of flaps in. There we go. That's 2 stages of flaps gone in. So a very, very short base approach. That's 3. Look at this town, this is beautiful. Do you know what? I'd like to come and visit this place. This looks amazing. Pretty much glided that in, like from all the way back there. Pretty much just glided it. Hardly any power used. Just make sure we get past the displaced bit. Cool beans. We're here. That was lovely. What a lovely little trip. That landing though was beautiful. Right, wait for it to catch up. Put the parking brake on. There we go. Congratulations, lake completed. I wonder what that means, check 43. Yeah, look at it. It's gorgeous. We basically came in over that hill and then descended that way and just did a glide descent straight in. Other approaches could have come in from this way. That would have been equally beautiful, but I wanted to follow the track it had given us. Anyway, so we just went from LDZD to LDSP. Took us just over 33 minutes. And that is the 3rd leg done in the Balkans Bush trip. Hope you're enjoying the little series. Please give me a thumbs up if you are. Until the next one, take care, guys. Happy flying.